It is week number 6 of the high school football season, and tonight, the Bombers of Kenston made the short trek to the capital of Geauga County to take on your Chardon Hilltoppers. How you doing, everyone? Matt Jaworski, Ryan Radke with you as we get you set for this one. And folks, it's a big night here in Topper Town. It is homecoming.
Yeah, and it's an exciting night for a number of reasons. First of all, it's homecoming. Second of all, you're starting conference play. And third of all, you're starting conference play with the Kenston Bombers. A great rivalry between these two teams, and they're coming in here tonight. Should be a lot of fun.
Indeed they are, and they're both coming off of losses. Kenston entering this game 4-1 after falling to Lake Catholic on a Thursday night game last week, and the Hilltoppers was a tough loss. They had another 2.5-hour plus bus ride. This time it was down south to Columbus, and the Hilltoppers came up 4 points short in a tough loss against Bishop Watterson, a very highly ranked team in the state of Ohio. This is the first time that both of these teams have come in entering a loss since 2015, and Kenston that year ended up being a 3-7. They fell to Mayfield the prior week by a 42-13 count in Week 5. Chardon, who finished 8-3 that year, fell to Madison, who was 9-2, by the way, 28-0. Just for the record, in Week 6, it was Chardon beating up on Kenston 40-13. A lot of time has changed since nearly 8 years ago or so. See how these two teams take off. Both are angry, both are upset they lost last week, and both have a lot to prove this week. Yeah, and it's going to be a little different. With, as you said, Kenston was on their way to a 3-7 season. They're 4-1 right now, so probably a better Kenston than that 2015 Kenston that Chardon played when both teams were coming off a loss. But you just look at the two losses. You know, Chardon was in a tight game with a really good program down at Bishop Watterson, lost 14-10. Kenston got blown out in their last game against Lake Catholic. So, you know, when you look at it, Kenston's really got a recovery to make, whereas Chardon, you lost a tough one to a good opponent, and you're coming out here the next week. So very different losses for these two teams that they're coming off of. Indeed, I can make an argument, though. The Hilltoppers last week beat themselves with a lot of penalties, undisciplined play. We've seen it a lot this year. And frankly, if they're going to beat these Kenston Bombers, they have to start playing. They got to stop making penalties. They got to start playing discipline. And if they don't, it's going to be Jeff Grubich and company walking out of here with the win tonight. Yeah, it's something that we've talked about this year. When you get into close games, if you're racking, I mean, the Hilltoppers rack up around 100 yards in penalties, it seems like almost every week. If you're going to keep doing that, when you get into close games against good teams, like you did last week against Bishop Watterson, you're going to find it hard to win. You can't always recover from that. So that they're going to have to clean that penalty game up a little bit. We've been talking about it week to week, and it's still a focus for them this week as we head into this one against Kenston. Well, speaking of heading into, we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we will head into our pregame festivities here from Chardon Memorial. It is homecoming night on GTV.
The Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, in association with GTV, proudly presents Chardon Hilltopper Varsity Football. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Chardon Gridiron Club, Burr Funeral Home, Chardon Smile Center, Achilles Running Shop, Ashes Mayfield Window Cleaning Company, Best Funeral Homes, The Junction Auto Family, Precision Orthopedics Specialties, PRP and Associates, Roniak Paving, Sopchak Natural Health and Wellness Center, and Fit for Life Physical Therapy, TJ Smith Excavating, Remax Tradition, Dan McCaskey and Terry Combs, Residence Artists, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, and the Chardon Athletic Boosters. Special thanks for supporting the Gridiron Club goes to the Lodge at Bass Lake, We Were Athletes, Chardon Home Depot. Chardon Hilltopper Football is also brought to you by GTV.
Memorial Field. Tonight we celebrate the 2023 Chardon High School Homecoming Court, and we will crown the King and Queen in just a matter of minutes. Before we introduce the court, we would like to thank the Executive Student Council and Student Council members at large who have worked so hard to make tonight and the dance tomorrow possible. Also, a big thank you to the CHS administration and staff for all of their hard work as well. Topper fans, here is your 2023 Homecoming Court. TJ Decepeda, escorted by her parents Elmer and Tess Decepeda. Will Francis, escorted by his parents Bob and Kathy Francis. Skylar Duvall Lewis, escorted by her grandmother Diana Lewis and sister Rory Duvall Lewis. Logan Bryant, escorted by his parents Terry Elliott and John Bryant. Jennifer Kagosik, escorted by her parents Lori and Frank Kagosik. Evan Cool, escorted by his parents Donald and Elaine Cool. Cadence Paul, escorted by her mother Ann Paul, father and stepmother Ron and Melissa Paul. Ewan Davis, escorted by his parents Jefferson and Victoria Davis. Skylar Toth, escorted by her parents Beth and Mike Toth. And Matthew Sopchak, escorted by his parents Linda and William Sopchak. This year's homecoming song, as voted by the students, the Arctic Monkeys, Baby I'm Yours. All right, as soon as they're lined up, we will announce our homecoming king and queen. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2023 homecoming king is Will Francis. And your 2023 homecoming queen is Skylar Toth. Congratulations, Will and Skylar and the entire homecoming court. And now the winner of the best homecoming float. It is the class of 2026. Congratulations, sophomore class. A great job done by all. Also, congrats to Will and TJ. They had the best homecoming video.
Oh, yeah, Willie.
Let's hear it once again, ladies and gentlemen, for our homecoming king and queen, Will and Skylar, and our entire homecoming court. Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. Introducing the 2023 Chardon Hilltopper Marching Band. The band is being led onto the field by drum major Evan Kuhl. The band would like to say a big congratulations to members of the homecoming court, also in the band, Jennifer Kagosik, TJ Desipeda, and Evan Kuhl.
You got one song, Delaney. Here. Then you go out, okay? I think she can dance. Just follow Trevor, okay?
Okay, Topper fans, put your hands together for OSU's Buckeye Battle Cry. Would you now please stand if you are able, and gentlemen, remove your hats as we honor our country with the national anthem, and remain standing for the Chardon High School alma mater. right, Hilltoppers, put your hands together for the Hey Song.
Nice and brisk. Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Chardon Hilltoppers.
And here are your Chardon Hilltoppers. How you doing, everyone? Matt Jaworski, Ryan Radke with you as we get you set for this one a couple minutes before kickoff. Hilltoppers come into this game with a 3-2 record. Bombers 4-1 overall. And Ryan, you look at this game, it is a huge game for the Hilltoppers at home as they start Western Reserve Conference play on the other side of the field. Just as big a game for Kenston. They come in, it's Chardon's homecoming, and they start Western Reserve Conference play as well.
Yeah, you know, you're into conference play now, and you look at the way the conference breaks down. There are 3 teams where if you probably talk to people at each school feel like they could win this conference. 2 of them are playing each other today, so obviously, even though it's week 6, huge game for both of these schools wanting to show where they stand in the conference.
Well, take it a step further, too. You look at both schools, and then you throw in the fact the biggest rivalry on their schedules, it's the Battle of Geauga County. I don't know how much bigger it gets.
No, and this is a really fun rivalry because of that. This game is so intense every year. There's so much that gets, so much energy that gets left out there on the field. Then you have the extra motivation of homecoming tonight, so this is going to be a lot of fun.
Well, you go back to last season, and these 2 teams squared off twice last year. And first time was in the regular season. It was a 35-18 Hilltopper victory. And then come playoff time, it was a 10-7 victory. Of course, that game played down at Austintown Fitch in Boardman. And boy, weather was terrible, and it was a slugfest. I mean, I haven't seen Kenston play that physical in years.
No, and the game lent itself to that kind of play because, again, remember, I believe it was remnants of a tropical storm or something. It was just dumping rain. It was a weird night because you think, hey, it's a playoff night. It's going to be like 62 degrees. The weather was worse than some of the games I've been at in the playoffs where it snowed a little. Weather was miserable, heavy football. 2 teams really duked it out, and that physicality in the rivalry came out. That was a fun one. The Hilltoppers came up on top, but that was a battle. The one during the regular season, that one was more, we saw a lot of offense in that game. I remember big plays on both sides of the football from those 2 teams. With the Hilltoppers, better team last year. They were pulling away late. And, you look down there on the field today, these 2 teams are going to go out there, and they're going to find out where everyone stands tonight.
Both teams looking for a little bit of revenge, if you will, in a sense, after tough losses in Week 5.
2 proud programs that don't like to lose, and they're both coming in with that energy of coming off a loss tonight.
Well, then you throw in the fact that these kids know one another. It's a great, friendly rivalry, so that means you take all the stats and you throw them in the garbage can because it don't matter.
No, it's a new weekend. We've seen that, right? We were talking about how just Kenston's season's gone. They beat a really good VASJ team in week 4. And they take on a Lake Catholic team that's also really good, but they lose that one 42-14. So week to week, you never know what you're going to get. That's why you show up and you play the games.
Well, you do, and I will say, I think Lake Catholic, if you talk about the surprise teams of the Lake Geauga area, it's Lake Catholic. They weren't expected to be as good as they were, 4-1 at this point in their schedule. And Cougars are looking real good.
Yeah, they're back, and they are on the rise, and they're going to have a tough one with Walsh Jesuit left on their schedule, but 8-2, 9-1 could be there, and they're down in Division 4 now, Region 13.
So here we go. Sauceridge set to kick it off as we start this homecoming game. Short squib kick going right side, picked up and quickly fallen upon by the up man around the 40. Did not expect that one.
Woo. Jack Shadler falls on that one for the Bombers. So, yeah, the Hilltoppers trying to catch the Bombers off guard. Shadler able to fall on that one. Listed as a freshman. Makes a nice play there.
Out come the Kenston Bombers wearing their white uniforms, the blue numbers, of course, those Dallas Cowboy-like helmets. They'll be working their way left to right. The QB, Lucas Kaltenbach, a junior, 6'4", 210, his main back. Sean Patrick, the senior, 190. They give us to Patrick, wrapped up and dropped down. Lazinski got in there. Austin Lazinski, the first man on the scene.
Yeah, they're ready right away. Austin Lazinski gets in that backfield. You know the Hilltoppers are going to have their eyes locked on 13. They're probably going to make Kenston beat them down the field first. They're going to be all eyes on 13, and they get back there and make a stop in the backfield right off the jump.
Now, Austin Lazinski, third on the team in tackles with 34. Third with 7 tackles for losses. Added one right there. Kaltenbach going to spread the field, send 2 receivers right. Now puts a man in motion, tight end. Receiver left. Drops back the pass, stepping up in the pocket. Now he's going to flush out left side, and he's going down at the line of scrimmage. Toppers got to him rather quickly again.
Nice work by the secondary. Good coverage downfield. He didn't have anywhere he could turn to make that throw, and so he decides to tuck and run. Hilltoppers are ready for him. Saw Alexander Ash there on the stop, getting some help as well. Also, Ciancebello in on the stop there for the Hilltoppers.
3rd and 12 from the 37. And now Kaltenbach will look into the sideline for the play call. He gets it. Kenston going to make an adjustment at the line. 3-step drop. Looking to throw. He's hit. It's caught, but shy of the first down, out near the 45-yard line.
Found Cardona there, who made the catch. He was trying to get down that sideline. Alexander Ashen on the stop. But the thing, if you're the Bombers, you get behind the chains against this Hilltopper team, and it's very hard to pick up the first down, and they don't. So Chardon's defense comes out, gets the 3 and out.
Well, Tamir Cardona, the junior, 5'8", 170, one of the key receivers on this squad for Kenston. Hilltoppers will be looking to shut him down. They're going to punt the football. Grady Kucherson out to punt, and Henry will take it, call for the fair catch, and make it at the 18.
A.J. Bruce with the fair catch back there, and so that's where Chardon is going to start out this drive from their own 18. It'll be a long field. And the homecoming king, Will Francis, headed out to lead his squad.
I was wondering how you'd get that one in.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of allusions to the fact that he's the homecoming king tonight.
Well, when he has been able to run, he has been the king of the football field this year by far. And he has had a pretty good season. Francis, leading rusher, 681 yards entering this one. And he's going to take it right up the middle, a little bit of running room as he goes right side. Picks up at least 5, maybe 6 on that run.
That's a good run to get you started. You had good blocking up front. You pick up 5 yards. Very good run for your first offensive play of the game.
Francis, the senior, 5'9", 160 in the backfield. We're going to see about 3 or 4 running backs, including Vinny Columbia, the junior, 5'10", 193. A.J. Bruce, the senior, 5'11", 185. Drago Vuyaclia, the senior, 5'10", 181. And Caleb Hewitt, the junior, 5'10", 167. Second down and 6 now from the 22. A.J. Bruce goes in motion, will stop and come back toward the left side. They will give it around the left side. Drago, and he's going nowhere. Late flag comes out as it was Charlie Thompson coming in from the secondary to make that stop.
Yeah, Hilltoppers looking to get that sweep run to the outside. The Bombers were ready for it. Thompson does a nice job, and then you got holding on Chardon.
Well, penalties continue to be a problem for the Hilltoppers. And it's, I can argue, kind of what cost them the game last week. 8 penalties for 80 yards in that 14-10 loss to Bishop Watterson.
And this is really going to set you back here. You want to avoid that 3 and out on your first possession, but now you're going to have some work to do because instead of facing a 3rd down and 5, you're facing a 2nd down and about 15-16 here. And you're backed up at your own 12.
Not that Chardon can't overcome it, but it just makes it that much tougher to do. Bruce goes in motion. Francis going to take it. Francis met at the line of scrimmage by Colin Wayland, the sophomore, and he stopped him for a loss on that play.
Yeah, Wayland, the linebacker, had his eyes on Francis the whole time. Get the feeling that was his assignment, was the spy there. And as soon as Francis went to step in that hole, into that hole stepped Wheeland. He just met Francis right there at the line of scrimmage.
Forward progress will actually give him a yard. So Toppers pinned back deep here on 3rd down, and that's 3rd and 14 from about the 14. So I guess that'd be a gain of 2 technically on that last run. Francis dropping back to pass, stepping up now, flushing out right side, looking, and nothing going there, was brought down. And great coverage by the Bomber defense.
Yep. And, you know, same thing happened to Chardon that happened to Kenston. You get yourself behind the chains against good defenses, and it becomes really difficult to move the ball at all. And both teams go 3 and out on their first offensive drives of this game. And the Bombers have a chance to pick up some good field position here.
Punt will be taken around the 45, and very little gone after that for Charlie Thompson.
Might have picked up a couple. Gets out to the, going to spot him up to the 41 here. And that'll be the second go for the Bombers offense.
So out come the Bombers, and officials will get the football situated there. But good starting field position for Kenston now, and they would love to take advantage of this and get themselves on the scoreboard early and quiet this loud homecoming crowd. They fake it. They're going to pass it. Cardona lost it, and officials will wave incomplete. Hilltoppers were playing through, though. I like that.
Yeah, they went for that little screen pass out there to Cardona, and he heard the footsteps coming. He was sitting there open. He was waiting for the football. He could hear Fryoff coming in.
Braden Morona trying to get his shoe on before this play starts. Able to do it. Always tough if you can't have that cleat. 2 receivers right. 2 to the left. Patrick in the backfield to the right of Kaltenbach. They will hand it off. And Sean Patrick pounds his way up near the 38-yard line. Now, last week, the Hilltopper defense limited Bishop Watterson to -3 rushing yards in that contest.
And the first run play for the Bombers went the wrong direction. This one, they're able to get forward for about 3 between the tackles.
Going to bring it 3rd and 7 for the Bombers. Similar formation.
4 down territory, you'd imagine, so Kenston's looking at a situation where they've got 2 plays here to keep this drive alive.
They will fake the handoff. Lazinski showing some pressure. So does Cianciabella. Ball up in the air, and it is batted away, incomplete. Great coverage there by a slew of Hilltoppers, including Leo Columbi.
Yeah, Columbi was back there. A number of Hilltoppers get back there. Great job. They knocked that one away. Yeah, the Bombers had 2 chances, so they took their shot there on 3rd down, trying to get it down the field. There were 3 Hilltoppers down there in coverage, knocking that ball out.
Kaltenbach will empty the backfield. 3 receivers right, 2 left. Topper fans getting loud. Looking to throw right side. Has some room to run. What will he do? Looking, gonna tuck it. No! Goes down for a loss, but there's a flag out near the line of scrimmage.
And we'll wait and see what that call is going to be, as Alexander Ash was in hot pursuit, and he came up and blocked the receiver on the route, took the receiver away before he chased down the quarterback. We're going to have to wait and see what this call is going to be.
Well, it's interesting. The Bombers are pointing that the penalty's against the Hilltoppers.
And they're going to come up here and discuss it.
Coach Hewitt.
I'm wondering if it's that block that I saw Alexander Ash throw on that receiver that they're calling here.
Holding against Kenston.
That's good. I don't know why everyone here was so upset it went against the Bombers. Oh, no, it does go against
they're
Chardon.
changing it the other way.
That's why everyone was so upset. Wonder who that call was on.
Well, the problem was that's a 10-yard penalty since it was 4th and 7. They will
the
get
drive
the
alive
first down.
for the Bombers, yep.
So the offense has been penalized for 10 yards, and now the defense.
I was just about to say, and already on both sides of the ball, the penalties popping up here. And we're only halfway through the first quarter.
Kenston ball, 1st and 10 from the Hilltopper 28. Give this to Patrick up at the middle, and Patrick pushes the pile forward across the 25 down near the 24.
Strong run there by Patrick. He's able to pick up 5 yards, his longest run of the short game so far.
Well, they're having a little bit of success with him moving the ball up at the middle. Have not tried to go outside either way yet. 2 receivers right. They've got Dylan Krupp to the left. And the QB Kaltenbach going to go up the middle himself. Dives close to the 20. Will be shy of the first down.
QB draw there. Able to dive ahead. Beckett Dotson gets the stop, but we've got a flag against the Bombers here. The Bombers are going to go backwards now.
Holding on Kenston. You look at what the Bombers have done this year in terms of rushing. They've picked up about 1,300 yards or so on the ground. That's an average of about 7.6 yards a carry in this season. And we're at the halfway point of the regular season. Beginning of Western Reserve Conference play tonight. 2nd and 16. Kaltenbach stepping up. He's brought down. The big man got him. Lazinski again.
Lazinski just keeps on coming. He's able to beat the junior lineman, Sam Meeks. Able to get by him and get that big tackle for a loss and a sack for Lazinski there.
Austin Lazinski was the guy that coaches asked him, hey, we need you to move to the defensive line. He didn't want to do it, but he knew for the good of the team he had to do it because he was being asked. And he has been outstanding on that D-line. 2 big plays tonight already.
It was a big jolt to that defense when he was inserted there week 3 against Avon Lake.
You add him going in there Beckett Dotson getting some time in the secondary. We've seen Drayton Allgood step up and make some big plays as well. They fake the pass, going to dump it off left side. Toppers all over that. And Cardona has nowhere to go.
Once again, you get good coverage downfield, so you're very quickly going to turn and dump that ball off, and there is just nowhere to run. About 4 Hilltoppers get in there, swarming to the football. And a good stand there by the Hilltopper defense, fighting back from that penalty to get the stop.
Fourth and 22. Kucherson out to punt for the second time tonight. A.J. Bruce standing on his 10. Bruce going to watch this one go out of bounds. Where will the officials spot this one? Tough to say.
And they're going to go ahead and mark it up, but it's going to be another long field for the Hilltoppers starting at the 12, so no score yet, but one thing the Bombers have had working in their favor to this point is field position.
Oh, thank goodness for the home team and for the fans. Sun finally setting here at Chardon Memorial.
It was, we just kind of watched it. It slowly dropped past those trees. The field was enveloped in the shade, and it'll get chilly now.
And it's the way that these guys won. It was beautiful. 76 degrees last week. They hand off Drago, going around the right side, fighting for some yardage up near the 15 where he's forced out of bounds. Was beautiful. Just lovely down in Columbus. Was, I'd say, be somewhere between 75 and 70 by the time the night ended. No humidity. Was just a perfect night for high school football.
We'll get a little chillier up here tonight, I think, than 70, but also a perfect night. These are the good weather nights. This is what you think of when you think of Friday night lights. These nights in the fall where the weather's dry but cool.
No, dry being the key. Take that anytime.
So far in the first 6 weeks, every week it's been dry.
You had to say something. Francis kind of scooped it up off the ground. A little bit of running, and Francis tripped up, and he falls forward just shy of, now he may be getting a good spot here where the official came out from the sideline. They're saying move the chains.
He's trying to sneak through there, and that was 13, so that's Sean Patrick who's out there on this side of the ball as well, who reached down and got an ankle tackle.
Number of Bombers go both ways. Not as many on Chardon going both ways, but got to feel that could come into play at some point in time this game.
Always does. That's one of the ways Chardon wears their opponents down.
Columbi, Vinny gets it. The fullback going right side around the 30, picking up about 7 or so.
Do a nice job blocking there on that right side. And Columbi able to gain for 6 yards.
Second down and short. And Hilltoppers made some adjustments after that first drive. Some things are starting to open up a little bit here.
First play was very positive. It was really the penalty that killed that first drive. They're staying away from those penalties, and they're moving the football.
Give this to Bruce. Bruce, some running room, and picks up the first down. A.J. Bruce last week had his biggest run of the season. He ripped off a 68-yard run midway through the first. He fell a yard shy of the touchdown, but set up a 1-yard touchdown run by Vinny Columbi to open up the scoring in that game. Turned out to be Chardon's only touchdown of the night.
Do a nice job with Bruce there, running between the tackles. Offensive line did a good job to open up a hole in the center, and he picked up the first down run.
But we saw A.J. last week be more assertive and made a bunch of good decisions running the football. They're looking to throw right now. Francis going to go down the field left side, looking for Leo Columbi, who's being held, and there's the flag.
Yeah, Columbi was going to have him beat. That was going to be a touchdown pass. And Jeremy Hajdu probably doing the best thing he could do, is that pass interference is a 15-yard penalty.
If I'm Coach Grubich, I'm going to take Hajdu's penalty.
Yep.
Give me the 15. It prevents 7 from going on the board, and I'll take my chances
and
with another down.
You could see that was Hajdu's decision too. I'm about to get beat. I'll take this penalty instead.
Well, and to be fair, a lot of coaches teach that.
Yep.
Give me the 15 over the score any day.
Yeah. And I have no problem with the coach teaching their guys. Smart strategy when you're out there. Might not be the most sporting strategy, though.
Francis hands it off. Drago, maybe a yard on that run left side. Nothing opened up.
Yeah, trying to go left. They had Drago go left on a sweep early in the game, and that one got dropped in the backfield as well. They've had success going right and up the middle so far, but nothing to the left yet.
Now Bruce going to re-enter this game. Charlie Brock, the tight end, coming out. This will be the last play of the first quarter, barring anything crazy here. Caleb Hewitt goes in motion. Francis going to take it himself, and Francis up near the 40-yard line. And that's where we will end things here. We're going to take a timeout on GTV. When we come back, second quarter action in this scoreless contest.
The Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, in association with GTV, proudly presents Chardon Hilltopper Varsity Football. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Chardon Gridiron Club, Burr Funeral Home, Chardon Smile Center, Achilles Running Shop, Ashes Mayfield Window Cleaning Company, Best Funeral Homes, The Junction Auto Family, Precision Orthopedics Specialties, PRP and Associates, Roniak Paving, Sopchak Natural Health and Wellness Center, and Fit for Life Physical Therapy, TJ Smith Excavating, Remax Tradition, Dan McCaskey and Terry Combs, Residence Artists, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, and the Chardon Athletic Boosters. Special thanks for supporting the Gridiron Club goes to the Lodge at Bass Lake, We Were Athletes, Chardon Home Depot. Chardon Hilltopper Football is also brought to you by GTV.
Welcome back, everyone. Chardon Memorial. Matt Jaworski, Ryan Radke here with you on GTV. It is homecoming night for the Hilltoppers. As Hilltoppers and Bombers, Battle of Geauga County. Give up the middle. Columbia looking, spinning around, battling, and he's fighting. And Columbia up to the 40 on 3rd and 3. Will make it 4th and about a long one.
Yeah, it picks up about 2, so Chardon, after one quarter and now that run, have outgained Kenston 35-6. But the thing that the Hilltoppers have done is they have fixed that field position game here by flipping the field on the Bombers after being inside their own 20 to start these first 2 drives. Let's see if they could finish it off here on 4th and 1 and keep this going.
Columbian Bruce in the backfield. It goes to AJ. AJ picks his way through. Running room. Bruce 30, 25, tripped up, dives ahead to the 20.
Touchdown saving tackle by Jeremy Haddu. He was able to close in there, and just an ankle tackle of A.J. Bruce kept him from going through the house. Here's trying to run through the middle on 4th and 1, but Kenston brought a lot of pressure, so once A.J. Bruce got past the line, there wasn't a whole lot to stop him, and Haddu comes up and makes the big play for his team. It's a second touchdown saving play he's made on this drive for Kenston.
Well, A.J. Bruce showing you power right there. They fake the handoff. Francis looking to throw toward the end zone right side. It's incomplete as he was looking for Caleb Hewitt just beyond Hewitt's outstretched arms.
Yeah, just couldn't quite get there, but they had the play, and they had Haddu beat down there. It would have been an easy fallen touchdown for Hewitt, but just didn't quite get there.
Got to give the Bombers some pressure, or some credit, though. They were able to get some pressure on Will Francis, and that likely set the timing off a little bit.
They got him into a situation where he let the football go early.
Early here in the second quarter, and Hilltoppers again going to the air. Francis stepping up, and Francis nearly clotheslined on that play. Boy, The big man, number 70, Sean Doyle, just stuck his hands out and brought him down. And, hey, he's a big man, 6'1", 295. He tackles with authority.
Yeah, flag on the play there. And looks like it's going to go against Chardon here. But yeah, Sean Doyle, 6'1", 295. He made his presence felt on that play.
Another holding call on the Hilltoppers. Back him up to the 31.
Now you're facing a 2nd down and 20 here.
So Chardon, 3 penalties for 30 yards at this point in the game. Francis looking to throw, has some time. Stepping up, will throw it away and wisely just threw it out of bounds. Some good coverage by the Kenston Bombers.
Yeah, they took away really the only option there for Francis. He didn't have anywhere to throw it. They also did a good job of making sure he couldn't tuck and run. He's forced to throw it away.
Now Hilltoppers prefer to grind it out, run down clock. But instead, the passing game just not connecting right now. It's 3rd and 20 from the Bomber 31. They hand it off. Huyaclia with the carry up near the 27. And now it is decision time for Coach Mitch Hewitt and company. You're very borderline Sam Sausarich's field goal range.
Yeah, I mean, this would be setting up to be a 45-yarder. I don't think you're kicking the field goal here. I think you're going to try to pick up as many yards as you can, see how deep you could pin Kenston, and maybe you find a space and you could pick up this 1st down on 4th and 17. But I think 45 yards, I think that's why they're going for it here. It's a little too long.
Leo Colombi split on left side, and Mitch Hewitt racing down the field, calling a timeout.
Well, they're going to take a timeout and discuss what they want to do. And I will let everyone know that tonight's special cablecast is funded by your cable subscriber franchise fees. And we'd like to again extend thanks to all the GTV funding communities, including those not funding tonight's contest, for their year-round support. They are Chardon Township, Middlefield Village, Munson Township, and partially funded by the city of Chardon. Thanks again for supporting GTV, and thanks to all our viewers for their support.
When this timeout ends, the Hilltoppers will be facing a 4th down and 17 from their own 28-yard line. There's not a lot of plays in the Hilltoppers playbook, but the one thing that they seem to do from time to time is rip off that big run.
Yeah, and this has been a good drive. They started at their own 12. They've gotten all the way into Kenston territory here at the 28, and that's the thing. You get your good blocking ahead of your play, and you could pick up these 17. It's possible. So they're going to go out there and see what they can do. See if they can keep this drive alive.
Now, the Bombers, on the other hand, would love nothing more than a stop here after the Hilltoppers O was just churning up and eating up yardage. Francis from the gun. Dropping back to pass again. Looking to go over the middle. And it is caught! A big-time catch by a big-time receiver and senior Leo Colombi, the man who's headed to Miami.
But they catch everyone off guard, right? You're thinking this is Chardon. It's 4th and 17. They're going to run this football. And instead, they take Will Francis and say, take a shot. And Colombi gets open down the field in the middle, and it's a 1st down, and they move the chains. And I think they caught Kenston off guard there in that big play.
Indeed, they did. And unfortunately, 2 Bombers took the worst of that tackle as they collided in between Leo Colombi. With that, folks, we're going to take a timeout here with 9:40 to play before halftime. Good news is both junior Charlie Thompson and junior Tamir Cardona able to walk off the field under their own power. And that's so good to see. Hopefully they will be okay and be back in this one. Toppers will now operate a first down and goal from the 3 after that big Leo Columbi reception. Of course, Leo last week picked up his first INT of the year. They hand it off. A.J. Bruce in the end zone. No.
They didn't signal it.
I don't know. The Hilltoppers are walking off like it's a touchdown. The Bombers are saying no. I have, folks, no idea what's going on here because the officials didn't do anything.
The officials absolutely never signaled, but yeah, Chardon has the PAT team out. I think they're calling it a touchdown run for A.J. Bruce. He makes a nice decision. He was going right. He saw a hole open. He cut back in, and he gets that touchdown run. A nice run by A.J. Bruce.
Well, A.J. Bruce, the touchdown run, gives Chardon a 6-0 lead. Sausrich, the PAT, and it is good. So with 9:13 to play, the Hilltoppers strike first, and they lead 7-0.
Well, GTV is now on Roku and Apple TV. You can also get it on your cell phone. That's right, iPhone or Android. All you have to do is look for the Cablecast app in your store, and you'll have GTV on your phone. Also, remember, you can follow GTV on X, formerly Twitter, for all the latest replay news and other important information. So follow GTV on X, formerly Twitter, and you'll have all the latest. Yeah, the officials never really signaled that one. At least I didn't see the signal. It just kind of everyone decided that Chardon scored, and the kicking unit went out, and that was that. But yeah, I never saw the signal either down there.
It is what it is. The officials, human, they're not perfect.
That's a nice run by A.J. Bruce, because you talked about how you saw him last week starting to look down the field and make decisions when he was running. That time, he's going to his right, he looks, he sees a hole, and he turns direction, and he got the touchdown run on that.
Well, it was a huge pass, though. You go back to that 4th down pass.
And that's where everyone in the stadium, including the Bombers, think Chardon's going to run in this situation. And they go for it, and they go for that big pass, and it sets it up.
That was about 24 yards or so?
Yeah, big play from Francis to Columbi.
Sausrich, another short kick, fielded by an up and brought down, goes down around the 38-yard line. Toppers clearly not wanting to kick things off tonight. Cohen Clark made the catch, the Good Hands team.
And I was going to say, good news for the Bombers was saw Cardona out there on the return. And obviously, yeah, the Hilltoppers want to stay away from a big return from Patrick or Cardona, so they're keeping those kickoffs shorter tonight.
Well, Cardona and Krupp coming out near side. Receiver to the right. Sean Patrick in the backfield, looking to throw over the middle, is caught by Tamir Cardona. First down near midfield.
Nice bit of play action there. The Bombers had only gained 5 yards in this game. Run a little play action. They get a pass off over the middle, just enough of an opening for the first down catch.
Well, they hurry to the line. And now they get the play off. It's going to be a run. Sean Patrick trying to get around the right side. No! He's met by a wall of Hilltoppers.
Yeah, trying to sweep it out there to the right. And nowhere for Patrick to go. Hilltoppers have been able to get back there. That was Leo Columbi able to make that stop for a loss of 3.
So the junior calling back from the gun. Patrick to his right. Receivers 2 on each side. Long snap. They give it to Patrick up the middle, running room. Patrick 45. 40 cutting near side, 35 to the 30. And eventually knocked out of bounds near the 25-yard line. Biggest run we've seen against the Hilltoppers in a long time.
Yeah, maybe one of the biggest ones this year as Patrick just steps to his left, sees a lot of space, able to accelerate through it, and he got into that secondary and was able to pick up about 30 yards. Huge run there for the Bombers, and this is the first drive they've really been able to move the football.
Well, Brandon Bell, the tight end, making a couple signals. Bell and Krupp on the left. They give it back to Patrick. Some hard-earned yards up the gut, and Patrick will move the line of scrimmage up a few yards.
That time, after setting him to the outside, they bring him between the tackles. Picks up 3 yards on first down.
Sean Patrick entered this one 752 rushing yards to lead the Bombers. 2nd and 7. They give it to Patrick again, and he's fighting for some more yards.
This offensive line did a good job, was able to open up a hole in the middle there for him to run through. He picks up about 4 or 5 more, so all of a sudden you're looking at 3rd and short for the Bombers, and they are inside the Hilltopper 20, right at the Hilltopper 20, it looks like.
Well, his helmet came off, so he's got to leave the field for a play. 3rd and short for Kenston as they're trying to answer the Hilltoppers' score. Clark now the back. Cardona and Jimmy Richmond out right. Krupp left. Cohen Clark gets the handoff, and Clark up near the 12-yard line. That should be good enough for a first down. It is.
So there was enough of a hole there between the center and the left guard for him to be able to get through and run and squeak out the first down. So he does his job, and Sean Patrick is right back in, and the Bomber offense is moving here.
Sean Patrick, 12 touchdowns on the season, including 4 in that win against Villa Angela St. Joe, where they put up a 49 offensive point night. They give this to Patrick. Patrick met at the line, fighting for a few more yards out near the 9, and now a late flag comes out.
Comes out late, and the initial indication is this one's going to go against Kenston.
The Bombers fans not happy. You can hear them booing before anything else.
They waved it off.
And by the way, great crowd tonight here at Chardon Memorial. I mean, this looks to be capacity. In terms of seating, there's a lot of standing room only, obviously, but boy, you can't ask for a better night for the Battle of Geauga County. 2nd and 7 from the 9. Now Patrick to the right of Kaltenbach. They give to Patrick again, some room forward, and he gets near the 5.
Pretty much running him right now between the center and the left guard. Max Roberge and Brody Sell doing a nice job opening up a hole there, and Patrick keeps going through that one.
3rd and 3. They empty out the backfield. 3 receivers right, 2 to the left. Kaltenbach 3rd and 3 from the 6. They can't pick up the first down, and now a timeout has been called.
Spread that field out, see what they would get from the defense, and they take a timeout, and they're going to discuss what they want to do. This is a big play for the Bombers here as we get to the latter part of this second quarter. Hey, a group of concerned citizens in cooperation with Chardon Schools and the Chardon Athletic Boosters wants to build permanent restrooms and a concession stand at Chardon Memorial Field. We all agree these improvements are really needed after 24/7 seasons in the new stadium. Donations large and small are needed. Be sure to check chardonathletics.org for details or call Terry Hegner at 440-226-6367. The plan is to have the new additions completed in time for the season next fall. So it'd be nice additions here to this stadium.
No, indeed it is, or will be. Look forward to running water. Seven 0 Hilltoppers, 5:24 to go here before halftime. Fans making some noise, clanging the cowbells. Very similar formation for the Bombers. Now they're going to send Patrick out right side. They're looking to throw. They got Patrick on the screen. No! He is short of the goal line, and the question is now, did he pick up the first down? Tough to see from this angle.
It looks like they're going to give him the first down, so he moves the chains, but a nice touchdown-saving play there. Just covered right on him, and as soon as Patrick got there, he was brought down.
So a new set of downs for the Bombers as they will have first and goal from the 3, trying to answer Chardon's score. QB going to keep it himself going ahead. Kaltenbach picked up maybe a yard on that run.
Yeah, he wasn't able to get very far. That hole opened and it closed really quickly. Chardon does a nice job to get in there and close it off. Get the stop. Logan Bryant got in on the stop there for the Hilltoppers.
Patrick in the backfield. They put a man in motion. That's Brandon Bell. They'll give it to Sean Patrick. Patrick looking and nowhere to go. Kenston says they apparently, I see the beanbag on the field, so apparently Patrick fumbled it into the end zone.
And it was recovered by a lineman for Kenston for a touchdown. It looks like that was Sean Doyle who picked it up.
Wow. So the Bombers looking to tie this one back up pending the PAT here from Grady Kucherson. Good snap, kick is underway. It is up. It splits the uprights. It is good with 4 minutes to go, just over 4 to go here. We got a new ball game tied at 7.
Well, here's some information about Hilltopper football live streaming. GTV is not able to stream away games. The only games that can be streamed are home games and some playoff games. GTV does not have the budget to live stream the games, so the Hilltopper Gridiron Club has stepped up to pay the production costs through their solicitation for underwriters. The site to go to for live streaming of Hilltopper football is chardonathletics.org. There's a $10 subscription charge that goes to Chardon schools. Be sure to tune in each week for every home Hilltopper football game. Catch the live stream at chardonathletics.org.
Well, a huge response by the Kenston Bombers.
Yeah, they marched down the field. They took some time off the clock. Big drive for Kenston. Tie the game right back up.
Short kick will be taken around the 20. Cutting back, trying to cut the corner. 25 near the 30. Not too shabby starting for the Hilltoppers on this drive.
Nice run there by Vuya Clea. As by changing side of the field, he was able to gain 15. I don't know that he would have been able to pick that up on the other side, so he's able to get to about the 35-yard line, set up good field position for Chardon, especially considering, Matt, they were starting those first couple drives of the game inside their own 20.
So 1st and 10 from the 35. Francis going to carry it himself, and Francis up to about the 40.
Nice job that time by the Hilltopper offensive line. They win the battle up front, open up a big hole. And Will Francis able to run right up the middle, pick up about 5.
Second and 6. Bruce goes in motion, and he gets the handoff. Bruce running room right side, 40, 45, 50, 45, and knocked out of bounds near the 40.
Sweep left there for A.J. Bruce, and they were able to do a nice job that time. We were talking about in the first quarter, a lot of the success was coming from to the right. That time, they get success to the left. Bruce runs out to the left side there, plenty of space, a first down, and A.J. Bruce is putting up back-to-back games where he's putting up very good numbers on the offensive side.
Officials say he stepped out of bounds on the Bomber 46. And it was, if you recall, last year when these two teams got together in the regular season, Hilltoppers had struggled to establish the jet at that point in time of the year, and it was that game that kind of turned things around for him. Up the middle, Francis goes near the 40. Check that. It was Vinny Columbia, the ball carrier.
Yeah, and so now you got the Bombers thinking about the sweep run, so you dive Vinny Columbia up the middle. He able to pick up 5 yards. Was after he opened the drive with a run up the middle by Francis, so Chardon effectively working inside and outside on this drive.
Hilltoppers have struggled at times with the jet this year, and you'd love to see them, from a Hilltopper offensive perspective, get that thing going.
Now the jet is like a pass in this offense. It's a big part of it.
A.J. Bruce trying to get something going, picks up maybe a yard on that run. And the Hilltoppers just having a tough time sealing off the ends right now.
Yeah, and that's what happened there. They're sending him over there on the jet sweep, but the linebackers for Kenston are able to get around the end there, and then there's nowhere for Bruce to run.
It's 3rd down for the Hilltoppers offense. Clock moving, 2 minutes to go prior to the half. Chardon will get the ball to start the third quarter. Francis looking to throw. Under pressure. Francis tucks it. Francis going forward to about the 40.
Francis was looking to his left there, seeing if he could get a throw off. When he didn't see anything, he came back to the right. Maybe picked up a yard, but 4th down. Let's see. The Hilltoppers are keeping the offense on the field here.
Well, the Hilltoppers have been struggling in pass protection this year. And again, Francis just under a lot of duress right there. And tough for him to throw the ball down the field when he's just running for his life.
Well, it's homecoming, as we have mentioned. And the Chardon homecoming court this year, TJ Desipeta, Skylar Duvall-Lewis, Jennifer Kovacic, Cadence Paul, Skylar Toth, who ended up being crowned homecoming queen, and then Logan Bryant, Ewan Davis, Will Francis, Evan Kuhl, Matthew Sobchak, Will Francis named homecoming king. There was a big assembly this morning to introduce the court, and there will be a fun dance tomorrow night. You can catch the assembly on GTV and on our video on demand site next week. So if you want to see the homecoming assembly, it'll be on GTV and on demand next week, so check that out.
Awesome that they do that. A lot of schools don't even do a homecoming assembly anymore, so good that Hilltoppers keeping the traditions alive.
Yeah, almost nobody still does their homecoming parade. I mean, the Hilltoppers keep that tradition alive as well. It's a great thing.
Fourth down and 4 for Chardon. The last time they had a 4th down, it was a 24-yard pass from Francis to Columbia. This time, they're going to go to the air again. Coming near side is caught. First down, and it's Leo Columbia again with the catch.
Perfect. Great job by Columbia. The Bombers were dropping back there. They were in zone coverage. Columbia with a quick turn. He's open. He makes the catch. He knew how many yards he needed for the first down. That was a senior running a route and a senior quarterback who found him.
And more importantly, too, not only did he pick up the first down, but he gets outside, he gets out of bounds, and he stops the clock.
Hilltoppers have a chance for a 2-for-1 here because they have the football to start the second half. They could score here.
Now they do have one timeout left in a minute 18. Francis going to dump it off right side. Drago, Vuyakliev, 20, and out of bounds. He gets close to that first down marker. Officials will say he's all the way out to the 20. Move those chains again.
Yeah, and Vuyakliev does a great job there as well. He takes that swing pass on the outside. He runs down the sideline. He makes sure he doesn't get tackled. He makes sure when the time came, he stepped out. It was enough for the first down. More importantly, stopped the clock again.
Toppers not quite in a position where I think they're comfortable running the football with a timeout left, despite there being a minute 11 to go. I think if they could pick up maybe another 10, 15 yards, we could see them doing a couple run plays. But for right now, wouldn't be surprised to see them continue to go to the air. Nope. Francis up the gut, and he's going to be shy of the first down marker, but a good call by Don Novacek.
Yeah, he does a nice job. He sends Will Francis up the middle, so the Hilltoppers got to the point on the field where they felt comfortable running, and Will Francis picks up 7 yards. Good job by the offensive line to open that one up.
They do not spike the football on 2nd and 3. Instead, they're calling a play, and they give it up right side. Cutting up the field, and more, 10! Pushing forward toward the end zone. Touchdown, Caleb Hewitt! Some slicing and dicing, and he finds his way into the pay dirt.
And credit Vinny Columbi with the assist. A huge block to seal that edge on the run to the outside. And then it was to the house for the touchdown by Hewitt.
Well, Hilltoppers answer back. And now Sam Sosrich out, excuse me, to attempt the PAT. Kick is down, it is underway, and it is good. 39.7 seconds left to go before halftime, and the Hilltoppers up 14-7.
How about this? 160 yards for Chardon, 62 for Kenston so far here in this first half. Well, GTV's on the internet. Our website has all kinds of great features, including video on demand. You can see our shows on your schedule. Live streaming, you can watch both channels anytime. GTV digital photos, over 150,000 digital pictures that you can download for free. GTV's weather station, and 2 live square cams, Middlefield, and of course the one here in Chardon. All available now at geaugatv.org. Make sure you get online and take advantage of that great community resource.
For Caleb, that is touchdown number 6, breaks a tie between him and Will Francis. So he's now second behind Vinny Columbi for touchdowns. So Caleb Hewitt, that big touchdown run will give the Hilltoppers a 14-7 lead. Hewitt went around the right side, made a couple nice cuts, and found pay dirt. Sammy Sosrich with the PAT, and it's 14-7 Hilltoppers here. 39 seconds to go before halftime. A huge response to the Kenston touchdown. And now they do potentially line themselves up for 2-for-1. Kickoff taken at the 10, 20, 25, 30. Kenston's got something going. Sosrich misses the tackle, but coming from behind and making the stop. Who was it?
Someone saved the day.
That for the Hilltoppers, I think if I see it was number 12. Indeed it was. Braden Schmatter turned down the Jets and able to save a touchdown. But now, 2 timeouts left for Kenston.
Yeah, touchdown saving play for Schmatter, but this changes the mindset for the Bombers here because you're starting at the Chardon 40. And they were looking at the same thing. Chardon's going to try to go 2-for-1. Maybe the Bombers can have a say in that now.
They empty out the backfield. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Kaltenbach from the gun. He's going to take it and run forward. Kaltenbach, 35, 30 out of bounds.
So that's a nice play call there, Matt. You empty the backfield. It's an obvious passing situation, and you run the QB draw. Designed that way. It was open up for him. He was able to pick up the first down. He gets himself out of bounds.
Oh, he averages about 6 yards a rush. Has 219 yards, 3rd on the team entering tonight. 1st and 10 from the topper 30. 24.7 to play. Kaltenbach going to take it again, looking to go outside, and Kaltenbach goes out of bounds shy of the 25. Burns about 5 seconds or so off the clock. And the Bombers inching closer.
Yeah, they're getting themselves here to about the 26-yard line. Not sure where they feel comfortable with their kicking game. It would be a long one right now. They'd be looking at about a 43-yarder. But you wonder where they want to get for their kicker.
3 receivers left, including Krupp, Cardina, and Brandon Bell, and timeout has been called.
Hilltopper is going to take a timeout.
That's their final one, by the way.
Well, they're going to discuss what they're going to do here defensively, and high school sports are just part of our programming lineup on GTV. Our coverage continues all year long for Cardinal, NDCL, and Chardon sports. We're in our 28th year and can't believe it. We're covering children of children we covered when we started. Check channels 1020 and 1025 regularly for replay dates and times. Our community and school bulletin board services are there too, 24 hours a day.
Big play here for Kenston. 2nd down and 6, and Kaltenbach has been moving the football, and he has been able to pick up some nice yardage with his feet on this drive. Again, all set up by a huge return on that kickoff. Folks, it is homecoming. We do invite you to stick around at halftime. We will have the sounds of the Kenston Marching Band and then your Hilltopper Marching Band. Patrick goes in motion. He gets the carry right side, and Patrick goes out of bounds. Will stop the clock.
Hilltoppers do a nice job there. Let's see where they spotted. I thought with they definitely prevented him from picking up the first down. Well short.
With 2 timeouts left, 14.2 seconds to go. Enough time for Kenston to run the ball one more time should they choose. 3rd and 3 from the Hilltopper 23. Now Patrick going to come in the backfield. They give it to Patrick up the middle to the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown Bombers.
Well, that starts with that return. That huge return completely changed how the end of this half could go. And then you get the play from Sean Patrick. You move him back into the backfield there, and then he gets the handoff. And there was a big hole open in the middle. Kenston offensive line has been doing a nice job up front in the first half. They open another hole for Patrick, and he accelerates right through for the touchdown. And Chardon will not go 2 for 1. Kenston has tied this game here.
PAT is up, and it is good. So with 8 seconds to go before the half, we got a tie ball game.
Well, GTV has an email service that will send you GTV replay information. Just go to our website, www.geaugatv.org, and sign up. When we set our schedule, you'll be the first to know. It's easy and informative, so sign up now. Never miss a replay. It was a big play for Kenston there.
Well, the Bombers have taken a lot of the air out of the stadium right now, tying this game up. And look, you knew coming in it was going to be a dogfight because of the rivalry between these two schools. A lot of the football prognosticators were saying, it's going to be Chardon by a lot. Has not been the case so far tonight.
Oh, that was the Bombers have. Every time Chardon has scored to this point, the Bombers have been able to respond.
And you go back to, Hilltoppers will pick up the football and try to run with it here, do something. I think that's Caleb Hewitt on the left side, and he goes down with 9/10 of a second left to go. But you go back to that playoff game last year, and Kenston clearly had picked some things up in that regular season contest. And the second time around, they made it very difficult for Chardon to win that football game. And we're seeing, again, the physicality tonight from the Bombers that maybe we haven't seen in some years past.
Yeah, there were some years there where the physicality didn't seem like it was quite there like it had been in the past, but we saw it in that playoff game last year, and we're seeing again tonight. The Bombers are coming out physical, and they're coming out to hit Chardon back.
Toppers will take a knee, and that will do it. A tie game as we head into the half. Chardon 14 and Kenston 14 on homecoming night here from Chardon Memorial. Folks, again, we invite you to stick around. Up first is the Kenston Bomber Marching Band, followed by the Pride of Chardon, the Hilltopper Marching Band. All that to come here at halftime on GTV.
The Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, in association with GTV, proudly presents Chardon Hilltopper Varsity Football. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Chardon Gridiron Club, Burr Funeral Home, Chardon Smile Center, Achilles Running Shop, Ashes Mayfield Window Cleaning Company, Best Funeral Homes, The Junction Auto Family, Precision Orthopedics Specialties, PRP and Associates, Roniak Paving, Sopchak Natural Health and Wellness Center, and Fit for Life Physical Therapy, TJ Smith Excavating, Remax Tradition, Dan McCaskey and Terry Combs, Residence Artists, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, and the Chardon Athletic Boosters. Special thanks for supporting the Gridiron Club goes to the Lodge at Bass Lake, We Were Athletes, Chardon Home Depot. Chardon Hilltopper Football is also brought to you by GTV.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Introducing the 2023 Chardon Hilltopper Marching Band. The band is being led onto the field by senior drum major Charlotte Johns. Our show this evening is a mix of our upcoming show featuring rock classics from the supergroup Queen, as well as the closer from our Katy Perry show. Released in 1981 and written by all of the members of Queen in conjunction with David Bowie, here is Under Pressure. 79, Freddie Mercury wrote our next tune in only 10 minutes while in the bathtub. This song has been covered by musicians ranging from Elvis to Maroon 5 to James Brown. Featuring our fabulous topperettes, here is Crazy Little Thing Called Love. Closing selection is from our Katy Perry show and shines the spotlight on our featured twirler, Savannah Flesher, and includes a drum break composed by our drumline leaders, Chris Bednar, Charlotte Johns, Parker Hegret, Aiden Murphy, and Elias May. Here is Firework. For the Chardon High School Fight Song.
Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, in association with GTV, proudly presents Chardon Hilltopper Varsity Football. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Chardon Gridiron Club, Burr Funeral Home, Chardon Smile Center, Achilles Running Shop, Ashes Mayfield Window Cleaning Company, Best Funeral Homes, The Junction Auto Family, Precision Orthopedics Specialties, PRP and Associates, Roniak Paving, Sopchak Natural Health and Wellness Center, and Fit for Life Physical Therapy, TJ Smith Excavating, Remax Tradition, Dan McCaskey and Terry Combs, Residence Artists, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, and the Chardon Athletic Boosters. Special thanks for supporting the Gridiron Club goes to the Lodge at Bass Lake, We Were Athletes, Chardon Home Depot. Chardon Hilltopper Football is also brought to you by GTV.
Welcome back, everyone. Chardon Memorial. Matt Jaworski, Ryan Radke with you. Third quarter just about to begin here. And we thought for a moment there, Hilltoppers might get a 2-for-1 at the end of the half. But boy, Bombers, it was Charlie Thompson, a big return down to the 40. And in 31 seconds, Kenston marched down the field to tie the game at 14 apiece. Hilltoppers on that return take it out to about the 25, and that's where this game will begin, or at least that's where the second half will begin, on the return by Caleb Hewitt. And Ryan, you look at that first half, and penalties again limited Chardon in the early stages of the game, but Hilltoppers came on strong late.
Yeah, they had that penalty on the first drive that really set the first drive back, but after that, they had a couple more, but they were largely able to avoid them, and as a result, they were able to move the football, get 2 scores. Kenston, on the other side, though, a couple of big plays on their 2 touchdown scoring drives to stay with Chardon in that first half.
Toppers going to run the football, and it's the QB, Will Francis, making his way up near the 28-yard line. Pick up just a couple on that play. Congratulations to both marching bands. They sounded fantastic.
Yeah, both bands sounded great. Saw a pretty cool winning homecoming video on the scoreboard as well at halftime. So
we may have to find out who did that and see if they want to work some part-time for GTV. That was some quality production work. Toppers going to keep it on the ground again. And Will Francis running room up near the 40. First down, Hilltoppers. They had the Bombers thinking sweep outside, but no, Francis up the gut.
Yeah, and he goes over there, headed toward the left. Sean Patrick eventually brings him down, but it's plenty enough for first down to move those chains.
Well, we have seen the Hilltoppers come out and take over games in the second half. And maybe this is the start of this in this contest. First and 10 now from the 39. It's Hewitt with the cut right side, 50, on his feet, 40. Caleb's going down the sideline. One man to beat, the 5 on his feet, in the end zone. Touchdown, Toppers!
And it starts out again with a Vinny Columbi block on the outside. Columbi throws the first block. After that, it was all Caleb Hewitt. A couple of shifty moves to get around additional defenders. And he gets all the way down the field into the end zone for a touchdown. So the Hilltoppers just short?
I take that back.
Just short.
Premature touchdown call.
Big run, though, and that was a nice job. Vinny Columbi throws a big block, opens it up. Caleb Hewitt still shifty, getting down the sideline. Hilltoppers have had some big plays of their own tonight.
66-yard run by Caleb. My view's kind of blocked toward that, from the 5 to the corner pylon. Will going to take it himself up near the 1, and he will be spotted down just shy.
Yeah, just didn't quite get there. Tried to reach across. Officials not giving it to him, so he's at about the half-yard line.
Well, let's see what they do here. This is normally Vinnie Columbi territory. Toppers will bring Zach Henneman out as the split end. He will line up on the left. Nope, now he's going to come out toward the right. Francis up the gut and in.
Yeah, you're at the half-yard line. Don't need to get too fancy there. Just go with the QB sneak. Francis gets it across, and Chardon is able to score within about 2 minutes of the start of this second half.
.204 on that drive.
Patriots set to attempt the extra point.
So Ostrich out to attempt the PAT. Kick is up, and it is good. With 9:56 to go here in the third quarter, Toppers retain the lead. They get it back for the third time tonight, 21-14.
Tonight's special Cablecast is funded by your cable subscriber franchise fees, and we'd like to again extend thanks to all the GTV funding communities, including those not funding tonight's contest, for their year-round support. They are Chardon Township, Middlefield Village, Munson Township, and partially funded by the City of Chardon. Thanks again for supporting GTV, and thanks to all our viewers for the support.
Now, the Bombers have been very good tonight about answering back.
Yes, they have. Both times Chardon has scored, Kenston has responded immediately. And, they've had big plays. They had a big pass on the one drive, a couple of big runs. They had a big kickoff return at the end of the half that really set them up.
For the Bombers.
Ended with about a 15-yard touchdown run. But if they didn't have that big kick return to start off at the end of the half, this game would look very different right now. So the big play has been the Bombers' friend.
Topper's going to kick it toward the right side. Loose ball, but eventually covered up by the Bombers. Having a little bit of trouble with that, but then regaining possession was Torrin Savransky.
Number 44, Torrin Savransky covers up on that play. First and 10, Bombers.
So Kenston will start this drive from the 31. No big return that time. Kenston has scored on back-to-back drives against this Chardon defense. Not a lot of teams are able to do that. Let's see what kind of adjustments both of these teams made in the locker room at halftime.
So Lucas Tollenbach will fake the handoff. Going to go down the field, has a man. Flags coming out late. It is caught by Cardona as he heads into the end zone. And if it stands, it's a 69-yard touchdown pass.
And the question is going to be if it stands, and it will not. Yeah, he had way too much time to throw there. And
flag on the play. Flag on the play.
This is going to be against the Bombers, so you can wipe that one off. You don't see very often against this Hilltopper defense a quarterback essentially get to open up a folding chair and sit down and wait for someone to get open down the field. And sure enough, there's going to be a call here going against the Bombers.
What's shocking, though, is it's a legal man downfield. Boy, I have been, Ryan, prior to this year, it was hardly called at the high school level.
It almost makes you wonder if the OHSA ask officials to watch for it more, because we're seeing it a lot this year.
Every week. QB keeper goes around the right side, and Lazinski says, hello, how do you do?
Yeah, ran right into Lazinski there.
Kaltenbach on the keeper.
Going to bring up second and long, about a 12 yards for the first down here. Yeah, how about that change? You go from a touchdown pass to first and 15.
With help from Austin Green.
Well, it can certainly take the air out of your sails.
Second and 12.
See what head coach Jeff Grubich is going to do here on 2nd and 12 from their own 29. Chardon showing some blitz. The handoff is to Patrick, who picks up a few yards back to the original line of scrimmage.
Patrick, the ball carrier.
Maybe to get out to the 32, so Patrick dives forward. But again, this whole drive changed for Kenston on that penalty. And what we're learning this year is we're seeing more of these.
Third down.
Those illegal man downfield penalties are drive killers. They really are.
I believe that's the 4th touchdown we've seen wiped off the board here this year on GTV. No, I shouldn't say seen because I believe a couple of more audio-only broadcasts, but nonetheless.
You saw that.
Yeah. And not all of them have been against Chardon. Third and 8. Fake to Patrick. Calling back, looking over the middle. Ball is going to be caught by his receiver, Tamir Cardona, across the 45, down near the 42.
Offensive line able to hold the pocket. Chardon didn't get pressure in there until late. It was enough time for Cardona to escape a receiver, get open over the middle. The throw was a bit high, but he was able to bring it down.
Kenston goes hurry up. Patrick, running room, and Patrick up near the 35-yard line. So Sean Patrick picking up about 8 yards on that run.
And the chains weren't even set yet, but they rushed to the line, tried to get that Hilltopper offense off guard and open a hole for Patrick.
Again, he goes forward, and he'll pick up just a couple that time. Kenston in a hurry-up mode right now, trying to catch the Hilltoppers on their heels.
That's right. They're trying to get going before the Hilltoppers defense gets set. That time, though, the defense was set and able to get the stop. So 3rd and short for Kenston here.
Kenston will send Cardona and Jimmy Richmond out to the right. Dylan Krupp left. Now Cardona going to come out slot left side. Sean Patrick lines up to the left side of Lucas Kaltenbach. Tight end moves left. They fake the run. Chardon going to show some pressure. Dumped off, and it is caught by Brandon Bell over the right side. First down out near the 25.
Yeah, Bell does a nice job there. He leaks out to the right, able to get enough for the first down. Quick pass out to him, and Kenston likes to operate with those quick passes. They like to get that football out of the backfield quickly, and they're doing that. They did that right there.
Well, they do not give Chardon time to bring the pressure. That's for sure. Kaltenbach looking over the play. We'll give it to Sean Patrick. Patrick, nice cut as he works his way up near the 22.
That does a nice job to find that hole, make the cut, and accelerate through. Picks up about 4, 2nd down and 6.
Well, you look at this Kenston Bomber team and what they've done so far this year. They put up 50 points in a win against Boardman, 49 points against West G, 55 against Chagrin Falls, 49 against VASJ. Last week, only 14 against the Lake, but that was an anomaly. They had a bunch of guys missing.
It was a short week. They played on a Thursday.
Sean Patrick trying to go around the right side, stonewalled. He had nowhere to go.
The Bombers couldn't seal the edge. Patrick trying to get around on a sweep run, but the Hilltoppers are there for the big stop.
On the play, Alexander Ash on the tackle.
Alexander Ash in on the stop.
3rd down, Bombers.
2-play territory here for the Bombers, so it'll be interesting to see what they decide to do here on 3rd down.
Chardon up by touchdown, 21-14. It's 3rd and 8 for Kenston. 2 receivers left, 2 right. They give it up on the ground. They go to the ground, and it's Cohen Clark to carry. Clark up near the 20, and that will make it 4th and short.
Well, and again, a nice hole opened up by that Kenston offensive line. It was on the left side this time, and room for him to run through and pick up a short 4th down.
They switch out running backs. Sean Patrick comes in. Cardona slot near side. Drop out left. They give it to Patrick, and Patrick stopped, and he looks to be short.
Patrick, the ball carrier.
Indeed he is. Bombers will turn it over on downs.
Austin Green able to get in there and make the big stop. for the Hilltoppers.
Well, we haven't mentioned Austin's name a lot this year, but the senior has made an impact at that linebacker position. And right there, he, of course, second on the team, by the way, in tackles with 40. He kind of gets overlooked with Alexander Ash, Lazinski, Columbia, everybody out there, but Austin Green has done a fantastic job this year.
He's just out there making stops. That's what he's doing.
Toppers 1st and 10 from their 18. Bad snap. Francis had trouble with it. Loose ball, and it's going to go the other way in the end zone. Touchdown Bombers.
Linebacker Ashton Kalinick. The ball popped out of Will Francis's hands. Kalinick able to grab it and take it into the end zone for the touchdown.
We got a topper down on the field as well. Folks, we are going to step aside here for an injury timeout on GTV. Well, you see right there Will Francis walking off the field under his own power. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Leader of this Hilltopper offense. Believe that's the first fumble by the offense this year.
Say Chardon doesn't turn the ball over much. Turn it over there at a bad spot on the field. It was an easy recover and run for Kenston.
PAT attempt is underway. It is up, and it is good.
And the kick is good.
So 4:48 to go. Kenston ties the game back at 21.
Kenston Bombers.
Well, GTV is on Roku and Apple TV. You can also get it on your cell phone, iPhone, or Android. All you have to do is look for the Cablecast app in your store, and you'll have GTV on your phone. Also, remember, you can follow GTV on Twitter or X. For all the latest replay news and other important information, join TV on X, formerly Twitter, and you'll have all the latest.
It just sounds weird to say X still.
It does, and I'm still not used to it, but...
Chardon sets the kick for the Bombers.
Now, total yards right now, Chardon 230, Kenston 161. Hilltoppers just cannot shake the Bombers right now. You got to give Kenston credit. They have been tenacious on the defensive side of things.
And they've made big plays.
They're going to kick it off, and Caleb going to take it from the 5. Has some blockers, 10. Room to run up near the 30, and brought down just shy of the 35.
Yeah, so he's able to run out there. That was Colin Wheeland in on the stop.
Toppers fans, this is a good sign. Francis running back out on the field. He'll go from the gun. Send a man in motion. It's Drago. And Francis going to spin around and be brought down near the 35. Pickup of a couple on that run.
Able to get a yard. This is a Bomber defense playing with a little bit of energy now after that touchdown they just scored.
Brought down by Tristan Tuck.
Well, we'll see. That could be the play of the game, depending on how this rest of the third quarter and the fourth plays out.
Well, it's going to keep them in the game because they still scored next. Even though their offense didn't get a job, the defense scored next.
On the end, Hewitt trying to cut the corner. He does. And Caleb out of bounds very close to the first down near side. And he did get it.
Vinny Columbi continuing to do a nice job on the edge out there to throw that block to open up that run to the outside. And it was enough for a first down for Hewitt before he was tripped up and sent out of bounds.
And Caleb just did a really nice job tiptoeing the sideline to stay inbounds, pick up a few extra yards. 1st and 10 Toppers now from the 46. Caleb going to go out Lineup is a split end far side. Instead, they give it to Drago. WeWereAthletes 50, 45-40, on its feet 35, and brought down near the 34.
Yeah, that was a great run there by WeWereAthletes, and again, you got some nice blocking out front. That time, he just gets behind Colin Udath, and Udath is in front of him, clearing the space, and just running right behind him. Another big gain, and we talk about the backs all the time, but that offensive line has a really important job to do in this running game, and you saw it there on that run.
Well, the thing is, you look at the running back Chardon has. The attention goes to AJ. The attention goes to Will Francis. The attention goes to Caleb Hewitt. WeWereAthletes kind of lost in that mix. He's only had, prior to this game, 22 touches, and he's been lately making the most of those carries he's received, or he's been given.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You've got all these athletes here at Chardon that they can do that. You'll go to a guy, and he can put 12, 15 yards up. So many athletes here, and the Hilltoppers use them.
Well, we have an injury on the field. Bomber freshman Eric Lemons down to a knee. Looks like cramping up a little bit here. We're going to take a timeout on GTV. When we come back, we'll resume the third quarter. Eric Lemons able to get up and walk slowly off the field. Welcome back. Battle of Geauga County. Toppers and Bombers going at it.
And it's a battle tonight, that's for sure. Tied at 21 here in the third quarter. Back and forth scoring. Every time Chardon has scored, the Bombers have had a response.
Well, since 2003, Chardon leads the series 15-6, have won 6 in a row, 9 out of 10, and 10 out of the last 12. Kenston looking to bum out Chardon on homecoming night. A.J. Bruce went right side, just didn't have any openings, but picked up about 4 yards on that run.
It's still a good positive run on first down, so it sets you up at 2nd and 6, and you're in a good place right now to keep this drive going after that positive first down run.
Would just love to see AJ just take one to the house here. Toppers need something to get this crowd up and back on their feet. Francis moves Columbia to his right. And Francis going to go straight ahead, and Will Francis meets a pile of Bombers. Forward progress to about the, say, 27 or so.
He's able to dive ahead. He picks up 4 on his own, and it's 3rd down and 2. So see how in an offense you can operate where every run doesn't need to be a first down run. You get back-to-back 4-yard runs, and you're at 3rd down and short, and you're in great shape, especially at the spot of the field you're on, because you really have 2 shots at it here to just keep this drive rolling, keep it moving.
Well, those runs were not what the Hilltoppers were getting in the first quarter. So starting to wear down that defense, but also making some adjustments as well. It's a QB keeper. And Francis close to the 25, but he has to get to the other side of the 25, so we'll be about 2 feet short, and it's 4th down.
Well, and Sean Patrick came out of nowhere, too. That looked like a big hole open up on the left side. Francis goes to accelerate through it, and Sean Patrick just stepped in, and big tackle there from Patrick. Such a talented player on both sides of the football.
4th and 1 for the Hilltoppers.
Toppers have been pretty good on 4th downs tonight. Let's see if they can get another one here. 4th and 1. Handoff coming right side, still on his feet. No. The Bombers snuff that one out. They were not going to let Caleb Hewitt do anything on that carry. Now a late flag. Uh-oh.
Charlie Thompson was the first guy to get there into the backfield to bring down Caleb Hewitt. Weren't going to let Kenston was not going to let Chardon beat him on 4th down on the sweep. And they brought everyone in there to prevent that sweep. And Chardon, that's a really tough penalty to take.
Dinged for a personal foul.
Personal foul on the Hilltoppers.
First time they've been penalized here in the second half.
Now that means Kenston to start at the 44 here.
Now Lucas Kaltenbach to go from the gun. He's got Cohen to his right. Hands it off to the big, no, fakes it over the middle. Tamir Cardona has it across the 35, down near the 30, and the Bombers on the move.
That was really good play action there. He pulls it back in. Cardona goes on a slant over the middle. He's able to get behind the linebackers, get open for the catch.
Now the give is to Cohen, dives ahead to about the 30.
Now, this is an adjustment Kenston has seemed to have made here, Matt. They will occasionally mix in these times where they jump to the line, and after that big play, they jump right to the line. They're able to pick up 3 yards. Now they'll slow it down a bit.
2nd and 7, Bombers.
Two receivers right, one left. Patrick will move to the left of the quarterback. Kaltenbach from the gun. Going to send his tight end to the other side. And they hand it off Sean Patrick. Patrick goes nowhere. Hilltopper strung him out.
Yeah, Hilltoppers do a great job to string that run out. They're able to get out there, get the stop. It's a loss of a couple. Austin Green again in first to get the stop.
Braden Morona also came up from the secondary to get in on that tackle. It's 3rd and 9. Patrick will now line up on the right side of Kaltenbach. 2 receivers left and 1 right. Finally gets the snap. Feeling some pressure, looking to throw it, chucks it up, and it's out of bounds. Hilltoppers brought the pressure that time. They've been selective on it tonight, but it was Kyle Kisley.
And that was the right time to bring the pressure on the Bombers, too, because you had Kaltenbach dropping back, and he just kept dropping back, getting further away from where he wanted to put the football, and desperation heave had no chance. Kenston's going to go for it here on 4th down.
Otherwise, it'd be about a 49-yard field goal. And now, a bunch of late substitutions.
Gone a lot smaller up front here.
They're going to punt Grady Kucherson.
Yep.
Standing on his own, on the top of 45. Now a flag, delay of game. Before they took that delay of game, Ryan, part of me was thinking, could this be a little bit of trickeration? But
yeah, trying to see what they were going to do.
I don't think moving the ball 15 yards or 5 more yards back is
No, they're going to punt. No. They were going to give themselves a little more room to operate. They want to play the field position game here.
Looking to pin Chardon deep. Nearly blocked. High kick. And that will go down the sideline and roll out of bounds inside the 10.
That was a really good Kenston roll based off where that ball landed and where it ended up. So, Coach Grubich goes the conservative route here, Matt. Instead of going for it on 4th and 9 there, he takes 5 yards, and he's going to play the field position game late as we come to the end of the 3rd quarter.
With that, we'll take a timeout here on GTV.
The Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, in association with GTV, proudly presents Chardon Hilltopper Varsity Football. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Chardon Gridiron Club, Burr Funeral Home, Chardon Smile Center, Achilles Running Shop, Ashes Mayfield Window Cleaning Company, Best Funeral Homes, The Junction Auto Family, Precision Orthopedics Specialties, PRP and Associates, Ronyak Paving, Sopchak Natural Health and Wellness Center, and Fit for Life Physical Therapy. TJ Smith Excavating. Remax Tradition, Dan McCaskey and Terry Combs. Residence Artists. El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina and the Chardon Athletic Boosters. Special thanks for supporting the Gridiron Club goes to the Lodge at Bass Lake, We Were Athletes, Chardon Home Depot. Chardon Hilltopper Football is also brought to you by GTV.
France is going to bring it right side, stopped after maybe pickup of a yard. Again, couldn't get around that right side. Excuse me, that near side.
230 total yards for the Hilltoppers through 3 quarters, 161 for Kenston. You know, one of the things we talked a lot about, Matt, is penalties. Chardon is limiting them compared to last week, 4 for 45 so far through the first 3 quarters.
Well, Chardon will have a 2nd down and 8 after that great kick by Grady Kucherson, pinned them back to the 9. Toppers a 2nd and 8 from their own 11. Francis sends A.J. Bruce in motion, going to keep it himself up the middle. And Will Francis out to about the 13, maybe the 14.
Hello, Jenner is almost to the 15 is where they finally spot the football. So 3rd down and 5, very manageable 3rd down here for Chardon.
Now Leo Columbia has entered the contest as the split end. He's already made 1 big catch tonight. Do they go to the air and go back to him again? We'll find out. A.J. Bruce goes in motion. It's the QB keeper, and Francis will be stopped short. You know, what's interesting is they've gone away from Vinny Columbia up the middle in this game.
Yeah, we've seen A.J. Bruce go up the middle. We've seen a lot of Will Francis on the keeper, but you're right, haven't seen many runs there by Vinny Columbia. That time the Kenston defense does its job. Their coach put a lot of faith in them, said, I'm going to play the field position game. You guys go out there, get me a stop. They get a 3 and out.
Galanak out to punt. Fair catch called for, and fair catch made around the 48-yard line. That is where the Bombers will take over. More good field position for them, and they've had a number of drives. They've had great starting field position tonight.
Yeah, you know, there's been a little bit of back and forth, but for the most part, Kenston has, you know, in the first quarter, especially early, they were winning that field position battle, and now they've put the field on Chardon again, and they put this defense in a tough spot as Kenston's going to start out at midfield.
For the Hilltoppers, this is that point where you have to start digging deep here. You're tied 21-21, 10:04 to play in this game. And you are doing what you can do to keep your team from going 3-3 on the year. This series over the years has had some stunners in them. Kenston looking to do that tonight. Run by Cohen up the middle, and Cohen Clark makes his way down to the Bomber 49-yard line.
Little pick up a couple. I believe that was Lazinski who was in there to get the stop.
So, you can see 2 receivers left and 1 right. They'll fake the handoff to Clark. Over the middle, it is caught, 1st down by Cardona. And Tamir having a good night.
Nice job by Cardona there. He's able to drop in under the coverage. Enough space for a 1st down. Makes the catch. It moves the chains. We've seen Cardona run some nice routes tonight.
Averages about 12 yards of reception. Had just 14 before tonight's game, and he will likely, I believe he already has set a new high for catches. They fake the handoff. Lazinski some pressure. They're looking to go to the air down the field. It's in the end zone, and it's a touchdown. Dylan Krupp, the junior, hauls it in from 51 yards out.
A little bit of pressure coming, but Colton Bach was able to step up into that pocket. He had some time. His receiver was able to run past the safety and get into the end zone for a touchdown, and the Bombers in the 4th quarter have their first lead of the night.
to attempt the extra point.
So Kucherson looking to give his team a 7-point lead if he can connect on this PAT. It's up. And it is good.
This is good.
With 9:06 to go, Kenston takes their first lead, 28-21.
Well, a great group of concerned citizens, in cooperation with Chardon Schools and the Chardon Athletic Boosters, wants to build permanent restrooms and a concession stand at Chardon Memorial Field. We all agree these improvements are really needed after 24 seasons in the new stadium. Donations large and small are needed. Be sure to check chardonathletics.org for details or call Terry Hegner at 440-226-6367. The plan is to have the new additions completed in time for next fall. And those would be great additions to this stadium, the restrooms and the new concession stand. Kenston catching up to Chardon in total yards, 277 to 247 now.
Now, when you make a big pass like that, you get them in chunks.
Said the big play has been the Bombers' friend tonight, and they keep getting them.
Line drive kick will be fielded at the 20. 25-30. And not much more after that. Hilltoppers now at a point in time, Ryan, where they have to respond with a score.
Yeah, there's 9 minutes left in this game. You don't want to give Kenston the ball back and risk letting them get ahead by 2 scores this late. So yeah, this is a let's get down the field and score drive here for Chardon. And look, it paid off for Coach Grubich. He went the conservative route. He went with that punt. And his defense got him the 3 and out, got his offense the ball back, and they took the short field and in 3 plays get in the end zone for the touchdown.
Toppers 1st and 10 from the 31. Give it to A.J. Bruce. Bruce slicing. Bruce spinning around, still on his feet. Bruce dives out near the 40. Great run by A.J. Bruce.
Yeah, he's able to get to the outside. Logan Bryant throws a nice block on the end there to open things up for him. And 9 yards on the first play of this drive. That's a good way to start it.
No, there's no need to hurry right now.
Oh, plenty of time in this game. Let's run your offense and play your game.
So the Toppers bring in Alex Kisley. Handoff, there's Vinny Columbi, gets the first down.
Bringing a lot of guys to throw a block. You're going to put a lot of blockers off the right. You're going to have Columbi run behind it. Make sure you move the chains, which they do.
Go with their jumbo blocker package there. Saw Kisley and Brock, and they got the yardage. Give this to Bruce. Bruce trying to bounce out the outside. Still on his feet. Eventually taken down by Cardona on the far side.
Sam Meeks slowed him down enough so Cardona could get there. Sam Meeks prevented Bruce. Bruce wanted to turn through that hole. Meeks closed it. He has to bounce out to the outside, and Cardona is able to get in there to get the stop.
Second and 11, Hilltoppers.
All right, now it is a stunned Chardon Memorial Field. The Bombers leading this one 28-21. Give it to Bruce again. Bruce makes a cut inside and nowhere to go. I thought he had running room outside, but he decided to go back between the tackles.
Yeah, he makes the decision to try to cut into the middle there inside his tackles, and there was nothing there. 3 or 4 Bombers were at the stop. Saw a number of guys there, including Sean Patrick. Also, I saw in that mix Colin Whelan, the sophomore linebacker. Just wasn't a lot open there in that lane, and now Chardon's facing a 3rd down and 9.
No, big momentum is shifting, and you can feel it right now.
There's a lot of confidence in that Bomber defense right now. You can tell by the way they're playing.
Quick throw near side. It is caught by Columbia. First down across the midfield. And for Leo Columbia, another catch. He came into this game the leading receiver with 5 receptions, and he's had at least 3 or 4 tonight.
Oh, they are spotting him just short. He was out just short.
My goodness.
So this is 4th and 1 in decision time for Coach Hewitt and the Hilltoppers here. This could be the play of this game right here.
Well, I know who I'd give it to. Let's see what they do. Hewitt goes in motion. Will Francis up the middle, and Will Francis, this will be very close. Bombers say no. Hilltoppers say yes. It will depend on the spot.
And we still wait.
Why is that guy spotting the ball?
And they signal it wasn't enough.
Took a long time, and I couldn't tell why. But nonetheless, officials say turnover on downs.
I mean, they didn't leave the football in the spot. They're walking around carrying the football, so okay, that's a huge play in this game. Kenston has about the same length of field they had on their last touchdown drive here. Trying to take a 2-score lead this late in the game, Matt. The math really starts to get hard on Chardon. This defense needs to get a stop right here.
Lucas Kaltenbach from the gun. Sean Patrick to his right. They've relied heavily on the pass game to get into the end zone tonight, and they've mixed in the run nicely. Toppers showing some blitz. Over the middle, over the head of Cardona, and incomplete. We haven't seen Chardon show a lot of blitz, but that time they brought the pressure.
Yeah, that was going to be a tough throw to complete. There was good coverage from the Hilltoppers down there. And Cardona couldn't get there.
Hilltoppers have played in some close games this year. They're going to rely on that experience. Down a touchdown. For Kenston, this is their first close game of the year, so you have to wonder how they're going to react as we head down to the final 5.5 minutes of this one. Sean Patrick, the carry. Patrick gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Nice job there by the Hilltoppers. Able to get the big stop Patrick.
Tackled by Austin Green.
Now the bell rings, signaling a 3rd down, and it's 3rd and 10.
3rd down and 10, Bomber.
Chardon at times has played suffocating defense tonight, and they need another stop right here.
Kenston has made some big plays on 3rd down tonight.
Toppers bringing some pressure again. Kaltenbach throws it up and throws it away. Nobody able to catch that one, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, that pressure came way too quick, and Kaltenbach just had to get rid of it. That is exactly what the doctor ordered for these Hilltoppers. This Chardon defense gets the 3 and out and gets the Kenston offense off the field. But once again, Matt, we talk about field position. The Hilltoppers are going to be facing another long field here. 4:38 to go.
Well, let's see. We've been waiting all season long for A.J. Bruce to take one to the house. This would be a heck of a time to do it. Flags. A legal procedure call against Kenston.
That'll help Chardon out a bit. That will make the field shorter.
Boy, if you're the Bombers, you hate to make that mistake right there and give A.J. Bruce 5 more yards on that return.
Yeah, that's not again. That's only a 5-yarder, but that's a tough spot for it in the game and situation.
kick. Bruce going to call for the fair catch, and he makes it around the 22. Decent field position now for Chardon as they get the ball for what could be the last time in this game.
Yeah, this is going to be a critical drive here for the Hilltoppers. The defense went out there and got that stop. Offense scored quick on their first drive of this half within 2 minutes. It's been a tough half after that. They had the turnover. Wow, a flag just flew onto the field.
Might be a sideline warning, and it is on Kenston.
Look, he's got numbers. They blocked it. They got a bunch of guys opposite on it. Now they're going to rotate.
Bruce the carry, and AJ out near the 30 to the 31.
Number of Bombers able to get there, including Charlie Thompson, but that's a good positive run to start this drive. You pick up 8 on first down, and you're at second down and 2.
Now you saw Bruce right there running with some authority. Leo Columbi, split end right side, him and AJ. Now AJ goes to the slot. Caleb in motion. To give this to Caleb, and nothing going there. Got tripped up by Sean Patrick in the backfield.
Yeah, Sean Patrick has been in the backfield all night. He gets back there again, disrupts the run game.
And Hewitt down on the field.
Well, here's some information about Hilltopper football live streaming. GTV is not able to stream away games. The only games that can be streamed are home games and some playoff games. GTV does not have the budget to live stream the games, so the Hilltopper Gridiron Club has stepped up to pay the production costs through their solicitation for underwriters. The site to go to for live streaming of Hilltopper football is chardonathletics.org. There is a $10 subscription charge that goes to Chardon schools. Be sure to tune in each week for every home Hilltopper football game. Catch the live stream at chardonathletics.org.
Now Caleb able to run off under his own power. Now the last time Kenston beat Chardon was 2017. It was a Week 9 game here at Chardon Memorial. It was a 34-15 victory. Toppers trying to evade that here on third down. They go to the run again, and the Bombers' defense on third and short has been clamping down on the run game.
Handoff to Vinny Columbi there. They're going to move. They're going to move him. No. What?
Confusion. The chain's moving. The official. Okay, he got the first down. Just going to go with it.
We'll certainly take it.
Fake. Topper's going to throw the ball. Francis under pressure, will dump it off right side. It's intercepted. Cardona racing down the sideline, made the pick. Now there is a flag on the far side of the field. I don't know what that flag was. My view of that area is not that good.
Well, that flag is going to be critical for a number of things. Number one, when was it thrown? We're screened out. If that's thrown after the interception, then even if it's against Kenston, it does not matter. So who is the penalty against, and when was it thrown? These are the questions that we need to have answered. I think the indications are it was definitely thrown after the...
Holding against Chardon.
So it was thrown before, but you're not going to take that penalty if you're Kenston because you just intercepted that football. And you're in really good position here if you're the Bombers now to get at least a field goal on the board and put this one away with 3:09 left. And, man, this is a really tough place to win as a visitor, and Kenston feels like they're on the precipice of doing that right now.
And on Chardon's homecoming, nonetheless. So, penalty will move the ball 1st and 10. The 1st and goal inside the 10. They give it to Patrick.
You know, make no mistake about it, Matt. If the Bombers do go on to win this game, it was their defense that won this game tonight, especially in the second half.
It's not often the Hilltopper defense is outplayed, but you have to give Coach Grubich and company credit because they have been outstanding tonight.
Well, this is bad news for the Bombers. That's Sean Patrick.
No, it means he will have to come off for likely one play. But boy, he's having trouble. Walking right now. At least he's standing up.
And the fact that he can put weight on it, you would think is a good sign. Of course, we are not doctors, so.
Going back to 2017, the last time Kenston beat Chardon. Again, that was a Week 9 game here at Shire Memorial. But it was also the last time Chardon lost a game before playing Kenston. The week before, they fell the brush 21-20. Hilltoppers went on to lose the last 3 games of that season. Finished 6-4. Been a long time since the Hilltoppers have lost 2 in a row, but that's what they're staring down right now. If they can't get a stop, get the ball back. It's 2nd and goal from the 8. Kaltenbach going to keep it himself, trying to go right side. Kaltenbach stopped at the 5, and the Hilltoppers will quickly call another timeout.
Yeah, they need to get this clock stopped. Well, hey, as mentioned, it is homecoming night tonight, and the Chardon homecoming court was TJ Desipeda, Skylar Duvall-Lewis, Jennifer Kovacic, Cadence Paul, and Skylar Toth, who was crowned homecoming queen. You also had Logan Bryant, Ewan Davis, Will Francis, Evan Cool, and Matthew Sopchak, with Will Francis being crowned the homecoming king. There was a big assembly this morning to introduce the court, and there will be a fun dance tomorrow night. You can catch the assembly on GTV and our video on demand site next week. So if you want to check out that homecoming assembly, check out Geauga TV and our website for that on demand. So
you have to think, Ryan, that should the Hilltoppers get a stop here, the Bombers will go for the field goal to make it a 2-score game.
Yeah, where they are on the field right now, it would be a 24-yard field goal.
Third and goal from the 7. And now Coach Grubich going to call a timeout of his own. He wants to think this one over as well.
GTV's on the internet. Our website has the following features, including video on demand. See our shows on your schedule. Live streaming, watch both channels anytime. GTV digital photos, over 150,000 digital pictures that you can download for free. GTV's weather station and our 2 live square cams, Middlefield and, of course, here in Chardon. All available now at geaugatv.org. Make sure you get online and take advantage of that great community resource.
Ball, just for the record, lined up right now on the left side hash mark, not on the far side there. And you have to think that the Bombers, if they're going to try to run a play, that maybe they run it right side to try to, if you're playing for the P8 for the field goal, to get it in between the hashes. We'll see. Empty backfield. And the QB looking to throw. Now he's stepping up in the pocket. He's got some running room. Kaltenbach toward the end zone, falls short.
He ran out to the outside. He falls short. The Hilltoppers able to chase him down.
Good Lord.
And Coach Hewitt going to call a timeout. The Hilltoppers' final timeout here with 2:35 to go. And boy, oh boy, I'll tell you what, Ryan, if I'm Jeff Grubich, I'm going for it here.
Yeah, that's so right. That run by his quarterback made the decision very interesting here, right? You've got a 4th down and 1. And the thing is, Hilltoppers have taken a timeout here. They don't really know what unit Kenston's going to come out on the field with here either. So that's, part of what's going to happen here too. And yeah, I mean, you would think it when you were at the 7, you're going to kick a field goal. They've only attempted 2 field goals all year. It's still a chip shot, and you know what? I wouldn't be surprised to see the Bombers go for it here because we've already seen Coach Grubich show that faith in his defense. And so he's at the 1-yard line. I would not be surprised at all for him to let his offense go for it here.
Well, the other thing is, they don't get that. You force Chardon to go 99 yards in about 2.5 minutes,
But they are coming out and going the safe route and kicking the field goal. 18-yard chip shot.
Grady Kucherson, 1 of 2 on the year from 22 yards out. Kick is up. And it is good.
Two-score game with 2:30 left. Well, high school sports are just a part of our programming lineup on GTV. Our coverage continues all year long for Cardinal, NDCL, and Chardon sports. We're in our 28th year and can't believe it. We're covering children of children we covered when we started. Check channels 1020 and 1025 regularly for replay dates and times. Our community and school bulletin board services are there too, 24 hours a day.
Well, this, to say the least, is stunning here at Chardon Memorial as fans start to pile out. And you have to start thinking ahead now. This is going to set up a heck of a matchup in Week 8 between Kenston and Riverside. That game at Kenston.
Yeah, that is.
Which right now, that looks like
game.
that'll be for the Western Reserve Conference title.
That's what it looks like right now. We'll see how things play out as the season goes on. But yeah, that's going to be a huge Week 8 matchup. And when's the last time Hilltoppers lost a game on this field, Matt? It has been
a very long
I'd say we're going back to before COVID, I would say for sure.
Line drive kick. Taken by Vujaclia, looking to do something at the 30 and Drago up to about the 34. And now Chardon, you got to think we're going to see a lot of Will Francis in the pass game.
Yeah, you have to. The clock is not your friend anymore. You've got no ability to stop it left with a timeout. So, yeah, you're going to have to throw. You're going to have to pass. You're going to have to get down the field quickly. You're going to have to make sure you get out of bounds. This is a Kenston defense that's playing with a lot of energy. Ever since they turned that fumble recovery into a touchdown, this Kenston defense energy level has been way up.
Francis, quick throw right side, caught by Leo Columbi, inbounds around the 38.
Nice job to prevent him from getting out of bounds. That was a good tackle over there on the far side of the field. I believe that was the linebacker, Ashton Kalinick. Did not let him get out.
Toppers taking a lot of time to get the play, and they just couldn't hear. Would have thought just stop the clock and spike it, but no. Precious time is burning off. Francis looking to throw, and it's intercepted again. Charlie Thompson, and that will likely do it.
Yeah, threw behind his receivers. Charlie Thompson's right there to make the catch. And the Bombers have come up here, Matt, and gotten a victory. They played well tonight.
Indeed. Kenston Set to go to 5-1 on the year, 1-0 in conference play for the Hilltoppers. Can't recall the last time this late in the year they have been 500.
And you look at that schedule now, and it really makes whatever happened for Kenston last week against Lake Catholic look like a blip on the radar, because this was a really good football team that came up here tonight.
Now you start to wonder for Chardon. Next week, what should be a winnable game against South, but then you've got a 2-3 Mayfield team, 2-3 North, and then Riverside. I mean, if Chardon can't fix what's going on, this could very well be a 500 season for them when they had high hopes.
Well, you feel like, based off of what you see, you feel like Chardon's got 3 games ahead of them where they could win those games and figure some stuff out and get a lot going. But that Week 10 matchup against Riverside, that's going to be a real tough one. I know that's going to be up here, but Riverside's a really good team again.
Now you look at Riverside, wins against NDCL, Aurora, Menor, Maple Heights, and Boardman. A very impressive schedule. Toppers, though, going to have to go back to the drawing board. It was penalties last week. This time around, it was turnovers and just giving up some big plays.
Right, and that kind of came out of nowhere. The Hilltoppers have not had turnover trouble this year, but came up tonight, and you have to give that credit to the Kenston defense.
Kenston's defense played about as well as they could play, and probably as well as they've played all year long against one of the better offenses that they've faced all year long. Limiting Chardon to just 21 points of offense. It's the second lowest scoring output the Hilltoppers have had all season long. Well, final play has taken place as the teams come out to shake hands. With that, we're going to pause, take a timeout. When we come back, we'll wrap this one up here on GTV.
The Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, in association with GTV, proudly presents Chardon Hilltopper Varsity Football. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Chardon Gridiron Club, Burr Funeral Home, Chardon Smile Center, Achilles Running Shop, Ashes Mayfield Window Cleaning Company, Best Funeral Homes, The Junction Auto Family, Precision Orthopedics Specialties, PRP and Associates, Ronyak Paving, Sopchak Natural Health and Wellness Center, and Fit for Life Physical Therapy, TJ Smith Excavating, Remax Tradition, Dan McCaskey and Terry Combs, Residence Artists, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, and the Chardon Athletic Boosters. Special thanks for supporting the Gridiron Club goes to the Lodge at Bass Lake, We Were Athletes, Chardon Home Depot. Chardon Hilltopper Football is also brought to you by GTV.
Welcome back, everyone. Chardon Memorial. Matt Jaworski, Ryan Radke with you. Not the way the Hilltoppers wanted homecoming to end, as Kenston comes out on top on this one, 31-21.
Yeah, it's like we talked about during the game today, Matt. This was the defense of Kenston that won this football game. It started with that fumble recovery that turned into a touchdown, but then Coach Grubich decides to punt the football, pins Chardon deep. His defense gets the stop, gives the offense a short field. They score. Defense comes up, gets an interception, giving the offense another short field for the field goal to give them the 2-score lead that really put this game on ice. The Kenston offense scored 31 points, but so much offense starts with defense, and the Bomber defense won this game tonight.
Well, folks, that will just about do it for us. Want to send thank you to our director, Brian Foster tonight, all of our camera guys, and to our executive producer, Dave Jebnikar. Also to my partner, I nearly forgot, but my partner, Ryan Radke. Final tonight, Kenston 31, Chardon 21. I am Matt Jaworski. On behalf of all the rest, we wish you all the best.